Good morning, Mr. Joseph. How are you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please drop a comment if you can hear me loud and clear. Confirm the sound is okay and you can see my screen. If you can hear me loud and clear, please, I'd like to know. All right. So has been trading. Today is Wednesday, right? Today is Wednesday, 9th of April. Has been trading. If you have any question or any pair you want us to look at together, please drop it in the comment section. Has been trading this week. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. So today, FOMC later today. Right, FOMC will be released later today by 7 p.m. Nigeria time. And New Zealand released their official cash rates the early hours of today. That was around 3 a.m. Nigerian time, and Bank of Japan governor, whoever speaks, okay, that was around 7:15 a.m. So only major news left for today is FOMC. Okay, so Mr. What's your bias on GJ? What's your bias on GJ? Are you bullish or bearish on GJ? I'd like to know. Are you bullish or bearish on GJ? Good morning, Mr. Raphael. Good morning, Williams. What pair are you trading today, Mr. Williams? What pair are you trading, Raphael? Session. What is your bias on GJ, Mr. Joseph? What's your bias? Okay, so let's see DXY. Let's start with DXY. Okay, so start with DXY. So let's start with the daily time frame. Yesterday candle closed strongly bearish. It closed strongly bearish. And so far today, DXY has been bearish. Let's see what we have on 4 hour. Okay. So I was expecting price to clear the liquidity residing at this previous high yesterday, but that was not achieved. And what do we have here on 4 hour time frame? You can see the market is currently trading, DXY is trading below this support. It's trading below this support that was created here. It also broke out from this support. So at the moment, I think the dollar is at the moment. The dollar is weak at the moment. You are still bullish on DXY. Okay, at the moment, it is bearish at the moment. It is bearish at the moment. Okay, bearish at the moment. I think it's bearish at the moment. Let me off the sound, the music. Okay, let's see. see. Let me see the weekly time frame. And today, FOMC meetings holds today, 7 p.m. This fair value gap got filled on the weekly time frame. All right, this fair value gap got filled on the weekly time frame. This gap has been filled. Let's go down to daily. Okay. Price tested. I think on Monday candle closed above the high. I think that's a breakout. That was the reason I was considering going bullish on DXY. I think that was the first breakout. Okay, so it's likely DXY might come for this low. It is likely DXY might come for this low. Now, for those who are still bullish on DXY, if you want to buy DXY today, I would advise you wait for price to above. Let's go to 1 hour. If you buy DXY today, if you want to go bullish on DXY today, let's go to 1 hour. Okay, so wait for price to close above the high of this candle. For a candle to close above the high of this candle, we had a resistance here. Can you see that on 1 hour? We had a resistance here. A resistance here. Price tested that resistance level. Tested that resistance level, and there was a strong rejection from there. Also, you would see we had a value gap here. See this fair value gap, though it didn't fill it entirely. We can see price tested this. You can see we had the fair value gap here. We also go back here, also fair value gap here. You can see we had a fair value gap here. Here also we had a support, which became a resistance, and I think it is currently trading below this support here. Can you see that? The previous 1 hour candle closed below this zone. So this tells me DXY is bearish at the moment. Okay, DXY is bearish at the moment. Likely going to come for this low. Okay, it's likely going to come from this low, and below this low, you can see this value gap. I think, and you see this fair value gap. Okay, though price has tested it at this point, so it's likely DXY would come for this low. It's likely to come for this low before going bullish. Okay, before going bullish, I'm still very bullish on the weekly time frame. I'm still very bullish on DXY. But with what we have on 4 hour and 1 hour, DXY is likely going to pull back. Okay, clear the liquidity residing at this previous low, or let's see 15 minutes. Probably it created a fair value gap. So you can see we have a fair value gap here. Okay, it's likely going to come fill this fair value gap, and if it breaks out from this fair value gap, if 1 hour or 4 hour candle breaks out from this fair value gap, then we should expect DXY to come clear the liquidity residing at this previous low. That's my expectation on the DXY. Okay, I will consider going bullish on DXY if this fair value gap gets filled, and also the liquidity residing at this low gets cleared. Okay, so I will expect to see that after FOMC meeting. I will expect to see that pattern after FOMC meeting. Good morning, Victory. Okay, I'm still bullish. Weekly, I'm still bullish on DXY weekly, but for today's markets, okay, based on what I'm saying on 4 hour and 1 hour time frame, DXY is likely going to sell today. It's likely going to sell today. Okay. Okay, USDJPY. Please, if there's any pair you want us to look at together, please drop it in the comment section. Drop it in the comment section. Drop it on the comment section. Okay. So Mr. Joseph said GJ. GJ, let's see GJ. GBP. BPJPY. Okay, let's start with daily. Okay. So I think DX GJ is at a discount area. If we apply our Fibonacci from this swing low, here to this swing high, I think GJ is at a discount area. Okay, I think price was used to clear liquidity residing at this previous low. And I think we had a tiny fair value gap around this area. So price has filled that gap. So let's go down to 4 hour. What do we have on 4 hour? Okay, so the previous 4 hour candle closed as a doji. The previous 4 hour candle closed as a doji. And if the current 4 hour candle closes bullish, one could consider buying GJ. If the current 4 hour candle closes bullish, one could consider going bullish on GJ. Let's see what we have on 1 hour frame. Okay, so before you buy GJ, I would advise you wait for 1 hour candle to close above the high of this candle. Okay, before you go bullish on GJ, I would advise you wait for 1 hour candle to close above the high of this candle. Okay, wait for 1 hour candle to close above the high of this candle. So you can see 1 hour is still trading below the high of the candle. You can see we had the resistance here also. We had the resistance here, and if you go back also, we had a support, some resistance here. You can see. Can you see that? So this is a key supply zone, a key resistance area. If 1 hour does not break out from this resistance area, don't buy GJ. Patiently wait for 1 hour to close. Okay, that's my take on GJ. Okay, that's my take on GJ. And if a bearish reversal pattern forms after price test resistance, if a bearish reversal pattern forms, then we should expect more bearish move on GJ. If a bearish reversal pattern forms after price tests this resistance zone, then you should expect more bearish move on GJ. I hope that is clear. That is my take on GJ. Buy GJ above this zone. Sell if a bearish reversal pattern forms after this resistance level is tested. I hope that is clear. Okay. USDJPY. Let's see USDJPY. 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 Let's start with the daily time frame. USDJPY, what can you see on USDJPY? Let's start with the daily. Now, on the daily time frame, I think a fair value gap. Let's see if this fair value gap has been filled. Let's see, has it filled this fair value gap? Okay. Price has tested that area. Okay. Price has filled this fair value gap that was created here. Okay. That's it on the daily time frame. Okay, so let's go down to 4 hour time frame. Yesterday candle was strongly bearish. So let's go down to 4 hour. 4 hour, what do we have on 4 hour after the close of yesterday candle? So you can see what we had on 4 hour. There was a breakout from this support. You can see price broke out from this support. Now this pullback could just be to fill a fair value gap. Buy could just be to fill a fair value gap. Let's see. I think we have a fair value gap here. The price it's this area. Okay, we had a fair value gap here, right? The price didn't get there. It tested it. Price tested this fair value gap. And you see, though it didn't fill it entirely, it tested it, and there was a strong rejection from that area. Probably if you go down to 1 hour time frame, probably there was a fair value gap at this point. Let's go down to 1 hour. Let's see. So on 1 hour, let's see on 1 hour. Was there a fair value gap here? Okay, no fair value gap here on 1 hour. Okay, so you can see price tested the fair value gap we identified on 4 hour time frame. There was a strong rejection from there. So on 4 hour time frame, what can you see on 4 hour time frame? You can see that the previous candle closed as a bullish candle. It's closed as a bullish candle, but as you can see, it tested these supports. So that could just be a break and retest, right? For those who trade break and retest, this could just be a break and retest. Price broke out from this support, and there was a strong rejection. You can see price tested it this morning, and there's a strong rejection from that support turn resistance. So let's go down to lower time frame and see the pattern. Based on what we have on 4 hour, if you are considering buying USJPY, you should expect price, wait for price to close above this high. But let's go down to 1 hour. Let's see what we have on 1 hour. So you can see what we have on 1 hour time frame. Can you see this? Can you see what we have on 1 hour time frame? This is resistance. Price tested that resistance level, and there was a rejection from that area. Okay, there's a strong rejection from that area. So like I said, if you want to buy USJPY, wait for price to close above the high of this 4 hour candle, this bearish candle. Okay, that will be my take on USDJPY. In as much the market is still trading below this resistance level, okay, USDJPY is still bearish. Okay, the market is still trading below that level. Okay, so you should buy above the high of that 4 hour time frame or this resistance. This resistance has been created on 1 hour. Wait for it to be broken before you buy. Wait for 1 hour or 4 hour candle to close above this resistance area before you buy. Okay, but at the moment the market is trading below this resistance level, so it should be bearish at the moment. But if you are considering buying USJPY, wait for price to break out from this high. And if you are buying USJPY, you want to ensure that DXY is bullish. Okay, you want to ensure that DXY is bullish. If you want to buy USJPY, ensure that DXY is bullish. I hope that is clear. Ensure DXY is bullish. So if there's a breakout from this resistance, you go to DXY charts to confirm that DXY is also bullish. Are you getting me? So that's my take on USDJPY. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. Okay, I hope that is clear. Let's look at GU. If you want to sell GU, you need to ensure that DXY is bullish. Ensure DXY is bullish if you want to sell GBP USD. Okay, if you want to sell GBP USD, ensure DXY is bearish. Sorry, DXY should be bullish if you're considering selling GBP USD. Okay, so let's start with the daily time frame. Start with the daily time frame. Okay, GBP USD yesterday candle looks like an inverted hammer, right? Which formed at a fair value gap. It formed. We had a fair value gap here. Okay, we had a fair value gap here. So that fair value gap got filled, and there was a strong rejection from that fair value gap. You can see that though we still have a fair value gap here, though it hasn't been filled, but as you can see, we had a what's it called, a resistance here. Okay, we also had a resistance here, so you can see. So a support was created on after the close of yesterday. A support was created on the daily time After the close of yesterday candle, what pattern do we have on 4-hour time frame? Let's see. What pattern do we have on the 4-hour time frame? Let's see, H4. Okay, so this is what we had on 4-hour. And this morning, the market broke out from this resistance it created yesterday. This was the resistance created yesterday. Price broke out from that resistance, okay, indicating that there's more demand than supply. But I also want you to see this on Euro USD. I want you to see this on GBP USD. Sorry, you can see we had a fair value gap here. Price pulled back, filled the fair value gap, and you can see the pattern that formed after price filled this fair value gap. Can you see that? After price filled that fair value gap, you can see the pattern that formed. There was rejection from that fair value gap. So if you are considering buying, you have to wait for price to break out from this resistance that was created here. You have to wait for price to break out from this resistance before you buy, or wait for price to pull back. Probably a fair value gap was created after the formation of this pattern. You want to wait for price to pull back to that. Okay, so you can see the fair value gap that was created here on 1-hour time frame. Okay, if you are considering buying, you want to wait for price to fill this fair value gap before you buy. But based, you can see what we have on 15 minutes. Oh, this is 1-hour time frame. You can see after price that fair value gap pattern that formed here, we had a doji here, and the next candle that closed engulfed and it also closed below this support that was created. This tells me that GU is bearish. This tells me GU is bearish. You can see the pattern that formed after the fair value filled, and it broke out from this support it created. You can see that. So this tells me GBP USD is bearish at the moment. Technically, USD should sell. Technically, GBP USD should sell. But remember, FOMC holds today, later today by 7 p.m. Nigerian time. So I think this pullback here was to fill a fair value gap that was created. I think a fair value gap was created. Let's see, after the formation of this candle, let's go to 15 minutes. I think a fair value gap was created. Let's confirm that. Fair value gap was created. Few minutes, please. Few minutes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, so that's my take on GBP USD. You should look for a sell, okay, on GBP USD. Okay, you should look for sell on GBP USD. Clear. So you can see on this is 15 minutes. We had a fair value gap here on 15 minutes. Can you see this fair value gap? That could be the reason for the pullback. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so you can see. Can you see the fair value gap? So that pullback could be to just fill. You can see the fair value gap it's created here. Price pulled back, I think, to fill that fair value gap. Can you see that? Price pulled back to fill this fair value gap. You can see that. Can you see that? Price pulled back, tested this fair value gap, and there's a strong rejection from that area. You can see strong rejection from that area. So this tells me GU is bearish at the moment. GU is bearish at the moment. It is bearish at the moment. It is bearish at the moment. If 1-hour candle closes below, if 1-hour candle closes below the low of this candle, that will be the right time to sell. If 1-hour candle closes below the low of this candle, that will be the right time to go bearish on GBP USD. If you are selling from this point, yes, that's short. You are selling from this point. Your TP, you could use this as your TP. Okay, this relative equal low. This relative equal low can be your TP, and your stop loss, you could set your stop loss at this level. So the risk reward here is how many? That's like 1 to 4, 1 to 4 risk reward. Okay, so that's my take on GBP USD. I hope that is clear. That's my take on GBP USD. That's my take on GBP USD. Do you have any question? Any other pair you want us to look at? Any question? Is there any other pair you want us to look at? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section if you have any pair to look at. Oh, that is clear for GU. Okay, GU is bearish at the moment. Let's look at EU, Euro USD, Euro USD. Euro USD should be bearish also. Let's start with the daily. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. So on EU, this is the daily time frame. Price tested this resistance area, and as you can see, first fair value gap. The fair value gap got filled. This fair value gap that was created here got filled on the daily time frame. You see this fair value gap. It got filled. This fair value gap got filled. Okay. Then created a resistance. Price pulled back this morning, right? Today, price has tested this resistance and a strong rejection from that resistance. So let's see the pattern that formed after price tested that resistance. After price tested that resistance, let's go down to 4 hour. Okay, so you can see the pattern that formed on 4 hour time frame. And you see the pattern that formed on 4 hour time frame. This is a bearish reversal pattern, right? This is a bearish reversal pattern on 4 hour time frame. Bearish reversal pattern. So if you want to sell EU, I would advise you wait for price to close below the low of this candle. Wait for 1 hour candle to close below the low of this candle before you go bearish on EU. Let's see 1 hour time frame. So on 1 hour, you can see what we have here: a spine up engulfing candle. A support was created here. That's why I said you can see it has created a support here. That's why I said you should wait for price 1 hour candle to break this support. Wait for 1 hour candle to break this support before you go bearish. After this engulfing candle, I think it created a fair value gap on lower time frame. I think it created a fair value gap on lower time frame, and I was expecting price to pull back, fill that fair value gap before going bearish. This fair value gap here, I was expecting price to come fill this fair value gap before going bearish. That was my expectation on EU. Okay, but as you can see, we also have a fair value gap here. You can see we have a fair value gap here. Okay, we have a fair value gap here. So, okay, this is a sell setup. This is IOFED. IOFED. Who knows the meaning of IOFED? ICT students. ICT students in the house. What's the meaning of I'm trying to remember. IOFED. Okay, institutional order flow entry drill. Yeah, this is all you have here. Institutional order flow entry drill. I hope I'm correct. ICT, smart money concept traders. When a previous low is in between a fair value gap, when a previous low is between a fair value gap, that is an IOFED, institutional order flow entry drill. Okay, so It's likely price will not come to fill this fair value gap because you have this IOFED. So price has tested, you can see this fair value gap here. Can you see this fair value gap? So price has already fair value gap. So likely going to go bearish. But like we patiently wait for price for 1 hour candle to close below this support before you sell. Okay. I hope that is clear. So that is my take on EU. I am bearish on EU. I am also bearish on GBP USD. I am bearish on EU and I'm also bearish on excuse me guys. I'm also bearish on GU. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. Do you have any question? Any question? Any question? Any question? Do you have any question? Please, if you're yet to like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I shouldn't be telling you this. If you're yet to like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if this is your first time participating in the live stream, please subscribe to the channel so that anytime I come live, you get notified by YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Do you have any question? Do you have any question? Mr. Joseph, Mr. William, Mr. Raphael, Mr. Lighton. If you have any question, let me know before we end the session. Do you have any question? Any question? Any question? Any question? Is there any topic you want me to talk on? Any topic, any strategy you want to teach? I would like to know so that I would create time for that class. What strategy or what topic would you like to talk on? Let me know so that we can create time for that. I can create time for that class. So please, as you today, remember FOM is by 7 p.m. So any trade you're going to execute, ensure you execute before New York session and ensure you exit your trades before 5 p.m. Nigerian time. Okay, if you're going to take any trade today, ensure you exit the trade before 5 p.m. Before 5 p.m. Whether in profit or loss, close your trades before FOMC meetings. Okay, if you are in profit before FOMC, you can decide to adjust your stop loss to break even. Okay, you can decide to adjust your stop loss to break even. If profit before FOMC, okay. If you are in loss, you could close the trade, take that small loss. Okay, that would be my advice for those of you who want to trade today. You could also focus on cross-currency pairs. Okay, you could focus on cross-currency and wait to trade USD pairs tomorrow after CPI. Okay, that is my advice for you today. Okay, please be conservative. Don't over leverage. Please don't over leverage. Ensure you apply stop loss on every trade you execute in the market. Okay, use stop loss on every trade you execute in the market. Any question? Any question? Are you guys still here? Are you guys? Drop a comment if you're still in this class. Drop a comment if you're still in this class. Drop a comment if you're still in this class. Are you guys still in this class? NFP released, sorry, CPI. CPI is tomorrow. CPI is tomorrow by 1:30 p.m. Nigerian time. 1:30 p.m. Is it 1:30 or 2:30? I think it should be 2:30. 2:30. Okay, I think we are 1 hour ahead. 1 hour ahead. So if 1:30, it should be around 2:30 tomorrow. I hope I'm correct. So the previous was 0.2, the forecast is 0.3, so they're expecting a little increase. Then CPI MM 0.2%, 0.1%. Okay, this one is decrease, this one is little increase, little decrease. And YY is 2.8, 2.5, decrease, decrease, increase. So we'll wait for the actual data. Also, unemployment claims will be released tomorrow. Close to 19K, and the forecast is 223K. Okay, they're expecting an increase, and if there is increase in unemployment claims, that will be negative for the dollar. Be negative for the dollar. Okay, so tomorrow I'll definitely be on by 1 p.m. or 1:15 p.m. Nigerian time. Let's see if we could find a setup to trade after CPI news. Let's see. So guys, that will be all for today's session. I wish you all a profitable trading day. Bye for now.